All right, so I'm going to start first. Hello, everybody. I'm here with Andy. Andy's from he has his own channel. It's called let me read it, Bamboo Construction in the Philippines. Hi, Andy. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you, Jimbo. How are you?
Very good, thank you, sir. So I want to kind of interested to. I have seen your house. You're building a container house, but before we get into that, I like to ask, how did you like met your wife, Jennifer? If you don't mind, share with us.
Not at all. No. Well, I was a construction manager in Qatar,
Qatar.
and Jennifer had been there. By the time I met her, she was there for 8 years,
Uh huh.
working on a mall as a leasing manager.
Uh huh.
And we just met. We just met in Qatar and evolved from being friends to boyfriend, girlfriend, and then we got married in
Mm-hmm.
2018.
Oh, 2018. Oh, okay.
Mm,
That's nice. All right. I'm gonna write. You might see me taking note. Writing
no
now.
problem. No problem.
You got married in 2018, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So and then once you got married, did you both move back to the Philippines then?
Well, I asked Jen to give up her job and move back to the Philippines to set up a base before we got married.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason I moved to the Philippines was because of the COVID.
Oh.
I had a really good job in London,
Mm-hmm.
but if you've got a good job and money and you can't see your wife, what's the point? So
Mm-hmm.
we made a conscious decision that we don't know how long this is going to last. We could be locked down again for another couple of years. So no, we need to be together, be it in London or the Philippines, and the Philippines seemed the best place for us.
Oh, okay. Okay. So when Jennifer was working there, does I think that like as a OFW, right?
Correct. Yeah. Yeah.
It
Yeah.
what how does it like they have a contract? I think like 2 years or how many years does it do they do and they just renew it, right?
Yeah. You get open contracts, which is unlimited, and you or the client can release you at each interval. So
Mm.
it's not too bad. She had a really good job in Qatar.
Mm.
And she'd been with the company for a long time.
For
It was
eight
quite
year
difficult for her to leave.
Yeah, for 8 years, that means she's happy with the company.
Yeah, but she actually completed 12 years in
Oh, 12,
total.
12, 12 years in total.
Mm. When I
Oh,
met her, it was 8 years, and then
okay.
she
And
done 12 years.
so okay, so you met, and then what year did you move to the Philippines?
2 years ago in June, this June, 2 years.
2 years ago. Okay, all right.
For me, yeah, but Jen came back
Two
before
years,
that.
two
So
years ago. Those are the time the top time. Where we have the lockdown, right?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
All right. Is that your first time in the Philippines?
No, no, I've been coming to the Philippines since 2015, so I've been
Oh,
quite used
okay.
to it.
And I saw you wearing a Florida T-shirt, one on your video, Miami.
Yeah,
So
I like them.
you've been to
I
Miami?
don't get, no, I haven't. I don't get dressed up much now with it because of my work, but
Hmm.
when I go out, I don't wear designer clothes, but I like to look decent.
You
I'm dressed with a shirt on now because I'm going to church.
oh, okay.
So
Oh, okay. So I'm not gonna hold you too long. Before I used to usually I'm very I like to dress up well. But
mm,
once you get older, that's why everybody see me always wear this black shirt, because I buy this cheap, I got this at
correct. And
Costco.
your priorities change when you get older,
Priority
especially when you
changing.
especially
Yes.
when you come to a place like the Philippines
Oh yeah.
and you look around you and you see the poverty and you think,
Yeah.
my God,
I got you.
it's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. So, are you? Because the first time I heard about you is from Jeff Mead, and he's
Okay.
talking about that you are building container houses. Is that your
Yeah.
business though? You building container houses?
Well, we built our own house with 3 containers. Um, and I believe it's everyone that comes to it says it's like European standard.
Mm-hmm.
That was my initial plan, but then all of a sudden containers became too expensive.
Oh, okay.
So they're more or less double the price that they were when I started. So at the moment now we're doing a house for a client from Wales, Stephen Rose.
Uh-huh.
Um, but at this moment in time we're doing a his eco resort. So
Right.
we're aiming for minimum 95% is sustainable material from the client's land.
That's
That's what we're
interesting.
doing at the moment.
Okay. Because I'm a little bit. Let me just ask you about your container home. I seen it on your first couple of videos. How many container is that you put it together? That is
We've
not.
got we've got two 40 foot high cube
Uh-huh.
and one 20 foot regular.
Oh, because your is different. I've been watching people building container. I mean, you can watch on YouTube. There's a lot of people here in state. They are using container as their home now, and
Yeah.
even Elon Musk, the one who invented Tesla, he was also started a business
Yeah.
about
So
it's like a small houses, something like that. That's one of Eden project right now. So it's gonna gain popularity. Those container home or small home. Anyway, so
well, it's
now go
it's
ahead.
quite green because you're recycling containers, but you can't use too old containers. They've
Hmm.
got to be class B at minimum.
Oh.
Otherwise, if you use anything worse than class B, you're asking for trouble with water leakage, etc.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Do you happen to know Tom and Ruth in
No,
CDO? Oh,
no.
I thought you know them because Tom and Ruth also they bought the container home from China. It's already
Oh, okay.
it's like it's already has cabinet. Everything is in there. You just have to hook it up. That's all.
Yeah.
And yeah, I thought you might know him. He has a also very popular channel. It's called Tom and Ruth
No.
in the Philippines.
I'll have I'll have a look. I'll have a look later.
Yeah, and then
But the thing is, you're buying buy ones that are already made. Is they're the same as everyone else's. You can't. I wanted to. I
modify.
wanted to build the container home that I wanted me and the wife to live in. So,
Uh huh.
but she didn't tell me that Jennifer. She didn't tell me that when the containers arrived on site and she looked at them,
Mm-hmm.
she thought there's no way we're going to make a home out of this
Oh really?
until we'd completed it. Until we'd completed the job,
Uh huh.
and she said, "I'm amazed. We've done
Oh.
it. We've managed it."
Oh.
So I mean, so
To
yeah,
tell you, me too. When I was looking at the container home, I was like, "There's no way how you gonna modify it." And you'll be surprised if you watch on those YouTuber how they modify their container. I mean, it's almost like a house. They put you
yeah,
can put as many container, you know,
correct.
and they were very
The thing
strong.
is, the advice I would give people is if they're doing a container build
Mm-hmm.
in a hot country like the Philippines,
Mm-hmm.
do not spare money on your insulation. The walls, the internal walls, the roof has
Mm-hmm.
to be insulated 100% correctly.
Oh, I
And you
bet.
need airflow. You need airflow. So
Uh,
get it off the ground, have a space underneath,
mm-hmm.
and get as many big windows as you can to let the
Mm.
air blow through the building.
Is it get hotter in the inside?
No, we only have one 2.5 split aircon,
Mm-hmm.
and that's in the living room. And that goes on. It mainly goes on for our dogs. So we put the aircon at 12 till 3 p in the afternoon,
Mm-hmm.
and then it goes on at 8 at night till 2 in the morning. And you wake up in the morning, and
Mm.
it's the house is really really cold. So
No. What I'm want to know is, do you think the container is it hotter than a regular home? Let's say without the
no,
AC. If you no,
no.
there's no AC. Is
If
it?
you insulate it correctly, it's exactly the same
It's
as
just
a normal home.
oh, okay. And
Yeah.
then does it? Do you have to worry about getting rust or anything like that, or do you have to
No, because it's like any house. If you don't maintain any house, it's going to fall
exactly?
apart.
Yeah.
So you just watch for any bits of rust. You've got to remember containers are they're designed to rust.
Mm.
That's the design of them.
Mm-hmm.
But you just give it a bit of a sand and a repaint.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like any normal house. You, if your house is painted, you have to repaint it. If your house is rendered, you have to render it sometimes. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So
correct.
it's down to maintenance. You can't just build something and walk away from it and think, well, that's it done now. Well, it's not. You have to
Mm-hmm.
maintain it like anything else.
Okay.
Like your body, Jimbo. We don't maintain our body, it falls apart.
That's right. So, where do you live right now? I mean, where are you located?
Well, we're based between Antique and Davao because the wife is back in Davao now to vote in the elections.
Mm-hmm.
But we're planning on selling our container home, and we're going to build in Antique because it's I love the province.
So you want to move to Antique?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. But right now
Life.
you in Davao? Is that what you said? Davao?
I'm in Antique at the moment. The wife's back in Davao
Yeah, yeah. But
because
your original place is in Davao.
yeah, yeah.
Davao is a beautiful, I mean, beautiful city, right?
It
Beautiful
is,
state.
yeah. But we're outside Davao in a place called Tagum City, so it's about an hour's drive.
Oh,
But
okay.
not like more people know Davao because of Duterte than they do
Yeah, from
Tagum City.
President
Yeah.
Duterte. Yeah, I never been. Oh, maybe yeah, I did went there one time, but I was very young, so I don't really
Okay.
have any recollection. Uh,
In Davao de Oro, beautiful beaches, beautiful resorts,
mm,
beautiful people. But the difference with Davao and Antique is the mountains. The saying is Antique is where the mountains meet the sea, and it's truly beautiful.
I never been to Antique, but I've been to Iloilo because we have
Mm.
relatives in Iloilo, and
Okay,
I
yeah,
was
yeah.
telling Steve, Ilonggo are the sweetest people, the way they
And the
talk,
hardest working,
huh?
and the hardest working, I
Hardworking
believe.
too, right? Yeah, yeah,
Mm.
yeah, exactly. So that's quite interesting, Antique. Steve was telling me about his project. I was kind of very excited for him. Initially, really, if you have watched my video, I am kind of I don't like to advise a foreigner to come to the
Yeah,
Philippines and to start their business because for me, it's so difficult, to if you're making dollar and then you want to make money in peso, it's so difficult unless it depend on what kind of business. But if your business is to like attract tourists, so that's a kind of different because I have also a friend, an expat, and his name is John. I think Sumulu. He has a channel also. His business was about web design. He design
yeah.
web design. So that is good because
Good.
he has an office in California, and he get his client over there. And then if somebody want to have them do a website or something, and he just used his people in the Philippines to develop the website. It's much
Yeah,
cheaper, so the
correct.
profit is bigger. But if for people like to do like a piggery or let's say fish farm, to me I'm
Very
really
difficult.
scared on that one. To me,
Mhm.
and the reason I also say that because you know I don't know, like me, I worked all my life, worked so hard all
Mm.
my, save all the money, trying to save all the money, and then because I have seen other blogger, they save all their money and then went to the Philippines and they start big piggery
And they
business,
lose
right?
it.
And they
Yeah,
lose everything. So
correct.
that will break my heart. I mean, just seeing them, already
I
break
think
my.
it's I think it's down to you've got to invest your money in something that you know about, and it's going to tourism in the Philippines is going to take off big time again, like before the COVID.
I do believe that. I do believe that.
But you've it's quality over quantity. You've got to give the people quality,
Mm-hmm.
and there's many resorts, many good resorts, many bad resorts.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe, like somewhere like Pearl Farm, if you've got a quality product,
Mm-hmm.
people will come from all over the world to stay there.
Hmm.
But what Steve's offering, what we're offering with Steve and Rose is tranquility, is
Yeah,
peace.
yeah, yes.
We're going to do yoga retreats, stuff
Yep.
like that. It's not going to be a bang, bang, bang place.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have a little amphitheater at the waterfall where they're
Mm-hmm.
going to have bands, but
Mm.
not crazy rock music, more subtle music. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
yeah, so
Yeah.
I think what they're offering is a bit different to a lot of places in the
Yeah.
Philippines.
I don't know if you heard what I said though, because
No, I didn't. I lost you there for a second.
okay. No, no. What I'm saying, your is like a retreat place. Your resort will be like a retreat or a spa, so that would really attract a lot of foreigners.
Correct.
Yeah. So beside that, so you have that project going on. When are you start already
Yeah,
building
yeah.
that place?
But I've told Steve that we can't.
Go ahead, Andy. Go ahead.
Yeah, we've done one Kubo. We just nearly finished that.
Uh huh.
Um, when the wife comes back from Davao, she'll start doing the internal
Oh,
thing.
I saw that
Yeah,
Kubo.
so
I saw that
we've built one Kubo up at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
When the boss Jennifer comes back from Davao, she'll do the internal.
Oh, okay. So the Kubo is for the
Yeah, so
guests.
that's the first Kubo. We're going to have about 10 to 12 different designs because he's got 4.5 hectares and it's all
Oh,
mountainous. Yes, yeah, yeah,
that that Kubo is beautiful,
yeah.
beautiful. And then, how long will it take you to build the whole thing to get it, get it operation? Sorry.
Sorry, I lost you
No,
there.
no problem. You know what? Don't worry about this because that's why I'm recording this. I can edit it. So I'm gonna edit out.
Okay, good.
That's better.
Yeah.
We are not live, so okay. It's
And as you know, the internet is more fun in the Philippines.
that's so true. So my question was, how long do you project to before you can get this function, receiving guests to your place?
I've told Steve that I would like to get guests as soon as possible because the because the cubicles are spaced that far apart.
Mm-hmm.
If we're working in one part of the site, it won't be a problem. I want him to start getting money in as soon as possible. He
Oh,
wants to wait until it's completed. So we're in discussions of that at the moment. So I
okay.
think I will win the argument and get the residents in there before
Uh-huh.
because you know yourself, if you're pumping money into a project, you want some money back.
Right,
And if
right.
he's getting money back with customers, and whilst we're building, if there's problems with the cubos and there's people living in them, we can know about it and change the cubos as we evolve.
Yeah, it's true though, but this is just based on my experience though, because I have a business experience. Told Steve I was in the sales business. I was selling shoes for a big one of the biggest manufacturer in the Philippines. I also sells
Mhm.
garment, so I know about the business thing. For when you said that, I understand that you want to get going, get the because you are putting so much money. You try to get. At the same time, we also have to keep this in mind though. When people go there, if they did not get the the full the full what you try to sell, I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe that will turn them off. I'm just
yeah,
saying.
possibly, possibly. I think
So
that's Steve's concern as well. Yeah,
yeah, I
yeah.
think we have same mentality because we are both butler. we
Mm. Oh, okay.
yeah we
He
are.
was a butler as well.
I'm a butler too. So we
Mm.
into very detail. I'm a
Yeah,
very my all my boss call me perfectionist. When I set my table, I have the tape measure with me. Even I do like have to everything has to
yeah,
be perfect. I mean,
yeah,
Steve probably can tell you the same thing. We are very strict with
yeah, yeah.
so we are
His
very
attention, his attention to detail is really
very
good.
attention to
And
detail.
the things about wherever you go in the world, you will meet a Filipino or a Filipina
Hmm.
in the hospitality service because
They're
they're
the
so
best.
friendly. They're so your to a Filipino or Filipina, your happiness is above theirs, and it's unbelievable.
Oh yeah.
It's unbelievable.
For us, we are in this. That's our joy to serve the
Mm.
people. That's me. I take pride.
Yeah,
And of course we get
yeah,
rewarded.
correct, correct. And the other thing is about the nature of the Filipinos is
Hmm.
there was one time I was flying back to Davao on Christmas Eve,
Hmm.
and we're due to get in before Christmas Eve, and the flight was delayed, and there's no airlines, there's no communication, there's nothing, just the flight's delayed, flight's delayed.
Hmm.
So we're 5 hours delayed, and it was Christmas morning, and they announced our flight was taking off, and everyone cheered and said thank you.
Yes.
No complaints,
And
just happy, smiling faces.
you have to get used to it. There's it's that's it's never Philippine never on time. So
Correct, correct.
that's our
Filipino time.
joke. It never on time.
Correct, correct.
You be shocked if you're on time on, let's say, on PAL or some, or that one of the Philippine airline. You probably on the wrong airline.
But yeah, it's a beautiful country, beautiful people, and what's not to love, eh?
I when I went back there, I've been here in Florida for many many years, and then when I went back after 20 years in state, I went back in 2008. Right, the first time I went back
Mm,
there, and I see the place has totally changed. It's not almost like
mm,
not my country anymore.
mm.
I have no idea. I got lost right there. But I said to my family there, I said, I see potential. I say, oh my, you have no idea what I'm seeing here. I see great potential. I mean, Philippines is surrounded by water. You know how people in state are paying tons of money for waterfront property, right?
Correct, correct, correct.
So you would imagine only drawback that I'm sorry to say though is the corruption in the Philippines. That's the only drawback.
Well, as a foreigner, I don't like to discuss politics or
Yes.
corruption, but you're correct. You're correct. You're 100% correct. And I've done a couple of videos on farm workers that are working in the blazing sun,
Mm-hmm.
plowing fields by pulling these
Mm-hmm.
plows along. And come on, subsidize your farmers.
Mm-hmm.
These the big multinational companies take all the fruit, they take all the veg,
Mm-hmm.
they hold the farmers to ransom. The farmers don't get the proper money for their crops. And
Mm-hmm.
a lot of my wife's got a lot of rice growing family, and they've
Mm-hmm.
stopped selling it now because they can't get the money for it. They're using it for their own consumption, and I feel it, like you said, we're surrounded by water. There's 700 plus islands. The fruit and the veg is second to none.
Yep.
And you're right. The reason it's not progressing is because of
I
corruption.
see a
And I don't think it'll change. Unfortunately, I don't think
uh,
it'll change.
it's it maybe change so slow, very slow because every time who we have a saying in the Philippines. I know I'm from the Philippines, so I can talk a little bit about politics. We have a old saying in the Philippines. One time, somebody asked the senator. She said, "Why is it? Why every time a candidate get elected and in power, they do is they do is try to corrupt, or take under the table." And the
Mm.
senator is supposed to be saying, "What are we in power for?" It's a joke.
Well, listen, and by the way, I've said to all my expat friends, it's not just the Philippines. The UK is the same. America's the
Yep.
same.
Yep.
Canada's the same. I
Yep.
think is people want to go into politics to change their country, but once they get into politics,
Mm,
they have to feed from the same trough as the other pigs. Because if they
mm,
don't, they get thrown out.
mm,
You conform to what they're doing, and what they're doing is in the UK they're robbing the people.
mm,
It's a fact of life, and governments our governments will never ever change, unfortunately, because once you get to that position in power,
Mm,
you're untouchable,
yeah.
untouchable.
But I really see a great future in the Philippines. That's why I was also thinking of going back there. When I retire, I would like to go back there. I just don't know
Yeah,
yet. Is it going to be full time or just going to be part time? But
yeah,
I've seen, like, when I went back 3 years ago, I was just there, and I see a lot of construction going on. The train, all there's a lot of going on. I just hope that we, get a good leader so that can go the progress will continue. Before I go
yeah,
too far, I want to ask you, because you're the guest, I want to give you the time to share your information. You also were helping Claire. The I never know that there's one in the Philippines about the center, the Claire Center, the for the
large, yeah.
animal shelter. So do you want to share
Yeah.
with the viewer?
Okay, so we met Clarissa and Michael through Steve.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what the initial plan of Steve was to build an office, but when I got to the shelter, I said no. The priority of the dogs have to come first. So at the moment, we're changing the kennels, we're extending the kennels, putting proper drainage in so that it's a clean area. Michael and Clarissa have done a fantastic job. They've just done the 5 year anniversary on Saturday there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I've done a video on it. The they issued free rabies shots to 80 plus dogs,
Mm.
and it's great to see little kids traveling kilometers with the dogs to get the rabies shots. The people, the people in the Philippines struggle to feed the families, so I understand why there's so many
Yes.
ill-treated dogs.
Yes.
But attitudes are changing, and there's a saying that you can tell the quality of the country and how they treat their animals.
Mm-hmm.
You can see the Philippines changing. They're getting help. They're getting support. Clarissa's done a fantastic job with Michael over 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
We've stepped in. We're helping. NutriChunks are helping. Everyone's supporting them because they deserve the support. They deserve
Mm.
serve the support.
How many dogs do
Yes.
they have right now in the shelter? Do you know, like, how many dogs?
And next, but they've got 92 kennels, so
Oh.
I would say about 85, 86 dogs,
Oh, wow. Are
and
they,
they're up for adoption. They're up for
oh.
adoption. If they can't be adopted, she won't adopt them.
Mm,
Um, and I've never seen a dog person like Clarissa.
mm.
She sleeps with them, she eats with them, and that's not derogatory. She just loves dogs.
Is
And
she?
they've got a cat. They've got a cattery as well.
Oh,
I'm not
okay.
a cat. I'm not a cat fan, so I don't go in the cattery. But they rescue cats as well.
They have cat also. Okay, that's
Yeah.
nice. And beside cat and dog, do they have other animals?
No, no,
No, just
no.
cat and dog.
In their house, in their house, I think they've got about 7 or 8 dogs in their
Mm,
own house from the
mm,
shelter itself.
mm, mm. Yeah, I
Can
mean,
I just mention? Can I just mention also
sure.
that me and the wife do Santa and Tagum.
Mm-hmm.
So every year we get dressed up as Santa and Mrs. Claus. We go around the kids, give them presents and candies and stuff. We're sponsoring 2 kids through school, and we'll stay with them through college. So
Oh.
if anyone wants to look at the videos and Santa and tag them, feel free. Look on Clark's Centre for Living Animal Rescue Shelter.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a lot of great people in the Philippines. There's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of great people in the Philippines
Mm.
that do a lot of good stuff, and
Yeah, I mean,
you've got to, you've got to love it. You've got to
I
love it.
think Philippines now is although it's still it's still a very poor country, but there's also a lot of people are improving their life. Maybe because of the like the call center. Every time I have a problem, if I call the call center, it was
It's a
routed to
Filipino.
the Philippines. So I can tell because of the
The, Phil-
accent.
yeah, the Philippines reminds me of not weather-wise, not culture-wise, but the UK when I was a kid, where everyone had nothing and what we had we shared.
Hmm.
The Philippines is the same.
Mm,
The community spirit is second to none.
mm,
It's like what we had when we were children. We don't have it anymore in the UK. There's very little community spirit where they all look after each other. And the saying was in the UK, it doesn't take a parent to bring up a child, it takes a whole community to bring up a
yep.
child.
Mm-hmm.
If that child's doing something wrong in the community, the whole community should say, hey, that's not the way to do it. And that's
Wow.
what happens here many
Mm,
of the times.
mm,
Do you know what I mean? So in that sense, it's really good.
mm,
I don't want to evolve too much that we forget the community spirit
mm-hmm.
and we get greedy. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's all about me rather than everyone.
Yeah.
So let's hope it changes for the better rather than change for the
Yeah.
worse.
I don't like people like me. You know, I was never that way. Yeah, you know, it's always
Mm.
sometime. Although sometime though, I was always thinking of other people first before me, and that was my regret.
But your cost, yes,
That
correct,
was my
correct.
regret. That's now I'm older. I thank God. I thank God. I said, you know what? At least it's not too late yet because what if I find out at the later, you know, when I'm already could not work or you know I'm too old.
And it's too late. It's too late then, you know.
It's good to help people, but you never forget to love yourself first. You have to
Correct.
love yourself first. That is a.
Agree.
I also I was, you know, I love talking head. When I every time I watch this blogger, I get glue is when they were just like talking about life because I like to
Mm.
listen and learn. And then
Yeah.
I think one time was somebody was talking about asking let's say asking you Andy who do you um, about insurance, you know, something like about life insurance, who do you think is more important to you, you know? So for you, Andy, who do you think is the most important to you for life?
Well, me because if I'm not here, who's going to help my wife support?
You will say your wife is important to you.
No, no, me. I, it's a difficult one.
That's why it's the question.
I think the breadwinner is the most important in the family.
The breadwinner.
The, yeah, the one that brings the majority of the money into the house.
You right. You just you know you just hit it. You got the correct
Exactly.
answer. Because most people will say, "Oh, my children," right? And then the man said, "No, it's you, because you're the breadwinner. If you're
Correct.
not there, who's gonna
Who's going to
give the you
look
know?"
after them?
So we
Yeah.
forgot. We always think you know the first answer will be, of course, my children or my wife, or you just said, my wife.
But
And
if I was on a ship sinking and I
uh,
had one life vest and was with one child,
uh,
the child would get my life vest. That's the wrong way to do it because you should put your life vest on and hold the child. But you know what I mean?
yeah,
It's
yeah.
uh, it's the way we're brought up
Yeah,
mentality.
it's your mentality. It's you how you was brought up. You know, um, I.
I'm ex British Army, and
Mm-hmm.
more important to me was my comrades, my brothers.
Yeah, yeah,
So if you're in a firefight,
yeah.
they're your priority, not you,
Right, right,
because
right.
you can look after yourself theoretically. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think but you're right. The breadwinner is the main one, the
I
main
didn't. I didn't
breadwinner.
say that. It was the the guy was teaching. He's the one who said that. You
Yeah,
know, I was shocked
yeah,
when I heard that. That's why I
yeah.
like to listen to those talking heads. You know, you learn a lot of things. You know.
Correct, correct. Right,
Anyways,
buddy. I've got to love you and leave you because it's 9:45 and I've got to be at church for 10
oh
o'clock.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so I appreciate you talking to me, and then maybe
No, it's been a pleasure. I've enjoyed it.
we
Yeah, it's
can
good.
do it again. Some whenever you get a chance. Or when things are getting progress with your property.
Yeah, we'll do an update. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you,
Have a
Andy.
have,
God
have a great
bless.
Sunday, buddy.
You
Take care,
too.
man. Take
All right.
care.
Take care. Bye
Bless you.
bye.